Hey YouTubers, this is Jacques from Jacques Photography, and today I'm being quiet because my family is asleep upstairs, but I'm going to talk to you about 5 tips and tricks for efficient, effective street photography in New York City. Hey YouTubers, just remember that Jacques Photography is not only about getting the shot, but it's the journey getting there. Make sure you like and subscribe and check out all the stuff I have. I have behind the scenes photo shoots and a lot of other cool stuff. But I'm here to talk to you about my street photography stint in New York City. Now, I go to New York City quite a bit, and I go there mostly on a touristy thing. It's sort of a ritual with my family. I do 2 things when I'm in New York. I go shop at B&H, that is for sure. I check that place out. It is the Disneyland of photographers. And I also go and actually shoot photography. I'm up to about the 6th or 7th time where I go there as a tourist, but come back with some great street photography shots. So I just wanted to tell you some of the hints, tips, and tricks I have to make sure that things go well and that you get great shots when you go there. When you go to New York, don't be afraid of being just a touristy person and going to the typical places that you go to in New York. I think a lot of people like myself, I get the complex of saying to myself, well, I'm shooting all the touristy spots. So obviously the 9/11 Memorial and Times Square are places where I do take shots a lot. Don't be ashamed of that. That's okay. And I'll tell you why. What helps a lot in New York City and what people don't realize is that you actually get a lot of great shots because of the human element and the amount of people moving around. Don't be afraid to shoot in those places that you feel are touristy, and don't be complexed about it, and don't not shoot because you say people are going to laugh at you because you're taking shots in Times Square and the 9/11 Memorial and the Statue of Liberty and stuff like that. Take shots. You'll find great magic anywhere as long as there are people. People is the most important thing about any street photography anywhere. One of the main tricks I've found in New York City to get great shots is to do one thing. Hop on one of those tacky tour buses. You know, the ones with that are opened up at the top and you see all the tourists in there looking around at the city. Take those buses for 2 reasons. One, it offers you a view of the city you've never seen. You're high up. You got a bird's eye view. You can actually get a lot of shots that are unobstructed when you're up there. So take shots when you're there. That's the first thing. And the second thing is that those audio tours are quite useful. You might think that they're not that useful, and they just say stuff like, here's the place where Woody Allen walked down the street or whatever, but it's not only that. They talk about the history of the city, and you will see nooks and crannies of magical things all over the place. And believe it or not, you'll see a lot of stuff that even native New Yorkers don't know about in the city. Take that tour for those 2 reasons, the bird eye view and getting a feel of the city. It is great. The other thing that is really fantastic about that tour bus thing is that you also scout where you want to go and what's important to you, and you get a fast view of all you can see in the city fast. Your mode of transportation should either be walk, by bike, or by subway. Don't take a cab, don't take any cars, don't move your car around. First of all, I think it's pretty evident that you don't use a car in New York City. You're just gonna drive yourself friggin' crazy with the parking. But that's an obvious one. But what happens if you take the subway? First of all, you're getting shots in the subway, out of the subway, when you walk out. And when you walk to one place to the other, I don't know how many times, let's say I have the goal of going down to the pier, or maybe over to Central Park. Well, if I say to myself, well, I'll walk from Times Square to Central Park, between Times Square and Central Park, I'm going to see stuff. I'm going to see a lot of cool stuff, and I'll take shots. And I don't know how many times the journey getting to that point where I wanted to go, I've gotten some really, really magical shots. So I just wanted to mention that. So when you walk, you get that done. If you're not as in shape as you might like to be, then the subway is also a good thing because it forces you to walk out of the subway and do a bit of walking and do some bit of in between instead of just parking at the spot you're supposed to be in. Now, on that note, there are a couple of things I wanted to mention. 3 pieces of advice on that as well. For the subway, make sure you get one of those all-inclusive, all-you-can-eat day passes where you just go in and out of the subway as you like. You're going to save a lot of money. If you're going to walk, make sure you have great shoes. Make sure your footwear is good so you don't get sore feet, because in New York, you can walk lots of blocks and not know it because you're just so amazed by what's around you that you start ignoring the pain in your feet. Bike. Okay, if you want to bike in New York City, make sure don't bring your bike. I think the best thing to do is probably to rent one of those city bikes. Those are bikes that are in little kiosks all over the city. You put in your credit card and you can just take a bike, use it, and put it and park it back. But make sure you check the rules on renting a bike when you are at home before you take your trip, because it can be somewhat complicated and vexing when you're there. It's not that complicated, but you just want to make sure you know and are aware of all the rules so you don't get overcharged for using a bike. Time is limited, but you still shouldn't rush yourself. In my case, it was 24 hours. We literally went there, got in there in the morning, looked around the town, slept there, and the next morning we left. So it wasn't even, I had basically 12 hours to go there. But instead of rushing myself after the tour to see all the spots that I wanted to see on that day and take shots, what I did was I just took mental note of the shots and places that are great. And I said to myself, you know what, when I come back, I know where to go for the next shots. And I basically subdivided my visit. And you have to say that to yourself. You can't rush yourself into seeing everything because you're going to drive yourself nuts. Trust me, New York City is a place with a lot of history, and you can shoot there for days and months and not get all the magic of the city. So I think it's very important that you say to yourself and adopt the attitude, take your time, take your time. You'll get some great shots anyway, wherever you do go. You just got to find that angle and do what you do best. It is an overwhelming place. New York City is an overwhelming place. It's a lot of stuff. It just blasts at you. And if you're from a small town or any other city, no matter what city you're from, New York offers quite a bit. Don't get overwhelmed by recording what you see. Now, it's a big mistake I made as a beginner photographer. I had my eye in the lens all the time. Take the time at points to pull your eye away from the lens and absorb what you see. Just sit there and absorb what you see. I think it was at the corner of 7th and 5th, is it 52nd? Anyways, around there, there's like a post office, and there were people sitting on the steps, and I'm taking shots, and the pigeons are flying around, and it's beautiful. And at one point, I said to myself, you know what? I'm just gonna stop, put my camera in my bag, and look around, and just enjoy the place and watch how people live here. It gives you a fresh angle on your photography. Remember, photography is the story, and it's the angle you take to that story and how you decide to shoot it using light. That's it for that. So those are my 5 tips. Now, for any of the gearheads out there, just wanted to tell you that I use the XT20, I use the 18-55 f2.8-4, and also the 35mm f2, and I love both those lenses. They are great. The 18-55 is just such a great focal length when you're doing street. The 35mm f2, I use that a lot on this trip, and I just love using a fixed focal and forcing myself to use the fixed focal. I love that lens as well. Those are the 5 tips. That's what I wanted to tell you guys today. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and don't forget, everybody, keep on making something from nothing.